What's up, YouTube? This is X79, guys. Today I'm coming to you with my latest Banlist prediction video for the September 2020 list. As of today, we are officially 1 month away from the first day we could potentially see a new Banlist dropped on us from TCG Konami. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to address a few things. First off, the last list, yes, it was underwhelming. We only got these 3 decks back to full power. I mean, Alter guys, very cool. Tier 2 deck to have in this format. Necros is a strong rogue tier deck. I haven't seen anybody playing Ritual Beast, so that deck's probably been power crept to hell, and that's why nobody's running it. But to be very honest, I can expect Konami probably to take the same approach on this upcoming September list. I'm hoping they might move a few more cards down off the list, because I know one of their goals was to try to shrink the size of the list. And considering that there's no physical events, there's not going to be any bans or limits on this upcoming list. With that being said, I personally think that Konami's approach to online tournaments is incorrect. They should be able to utilize the results from OTS stores using the official Konami tournament policies and the current ban list, and use those results to formulate a ban list for September. I mean, they should just let the OTS stores handle the tournaments and use whatever platform they want to use, and Konami just can claim the results as under the term remote duel, primarily because when you think about it, all the third-party platforms are remote duels, so it does make sense they could claim it, and then they won't have to basically acknowledge those third-party platforms, and they can avoid legal situations from there. All right, that's just my opinion. I think that's how they should be handling it. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how they are handling it, so that's why we're probably stuck with cards coming down the list. So I have a feeling we're only going to be seeing maybe semi-limits as well as unlimits on this list, and probably just maybe a handful of them, too. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into starting off with my semi-limits, because there's not going to be anything banned. And we're going to start off with Salmon Great Circle. I think this comes as no surprise. Salmon Greats is in the same situation as it is in the OCG as it is here. It's a tier 2 deck. Kind of been power crept by the current metagame, to be honest. And giving this Salmon Great deck back 2 copies of Circle, not going to boost the consistency over the top to make it tier 1 again. The deck still doesn't put up these overpowering boards, and compared to the boards that some of the other decks can put up, yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle. One extra card for consistency purposes, or even protection for your reincarnated Link monsters, not gonna be breaking the deck, so it's safe to bring back to 2. The next card that should be brought up at 2 is going to be Sky Striker Mecha Modules. It is at 2 over in OCG, and they also have 2 Engage and 1 Kagari. I just want to point that out. We have 3 Kagari and no Engage, so yeah, being able to get this card out of the deck is not going to be very easy, especially with it at 1. Putting it at 2 gives the deck a little bit more of a grind game now, and to be honest, that's what Sky Strikers are about. They have to out-resource their opponent somehow. Having 2 copies of this card is not going to be the bad thing. It's not going to push the deck up to tier 1 status again. It's still, in my opinion, it still will be at that borderline tier 2 rogue status. So, multi-roll is safe to bring back to 2. Moving down to the unlimits, Dynamite Knight, the True Draker Fighter. This card should have been put to 3 when Diagram went to 1. TCG Konami doesn't have to give us back the True King Return. They can just give this card back at 3. It'll give the True Draker decks extra bodies to play with. And that's really what the deck needs, is the extra bodies to play with. And in my opinion, it's safe to bring back down to 2. I mean, to 3, actually. And the deck still won't move at all. Tour Guide of the Underworld, in my opinion, is another card that can actually come down to 3. I know both OCG and TCG has this card at 2, but I think it is, with the number of negations that can stop this card effect from being activated, yeah, safe to bring back down to 3. To be very honest, unless you're running an engine that utilizes level 3 fiends in your deck, it's not going to see play outside of decks that run fiends. So safe to come down to 3, and we can actually keep it there. The last monster, Maxi. I've been calling for this card to be coming back down to 3, and I think this is the perfect time to actually bring it back. The primary reason is because the entry into the game for whether it be new players or returning players is insanely high, because now they have to learn all these damn combo strings to actually be able to play decks in competitive formats, and it's not fun. I've heard a lot of people, especially other bigger Yu-Gi YouTubers like Metacapology or even TPS, saying it's not. The competitive scene is not fun at all. And to be very honest, in order to make it fair and more accessible to everyone, we need this card back at 3. Yes, it's going to put the 5-minute combo decks into check, and it does it for multiple reasons, because when your opponent's comboing off, you just discard cards to the graveyard, you're able to draw into more resources the more they special summon, and then you're able to use those resources you drew into to break their boards. Pretty straightforward. If you want to flip the side of the coin on the side of your opponent, there are counters for this card out there. Call by the Grave is one of them. We also have other cards that can actually shut down this card completely, basically because this card has to be sent to the graveyard. If you can establish something that banishes your opponent's cards, they're not going to be able to utilize this card and draw into the cards they need to break your boards. There's also plenty of different negates and even other hand traps that can stop this card. I think you can even use Ash Blossom or even Draw and Lock against this card, and yeah, it can really hurt your opponent. So there are options out there. To be very honest, this card is the single card that's actually keeping the OCG metagame from looking a lot like the TCG metagame with all those 5-minute combo decks going on. I mean, combo decks aren't bad. It's just that when you can vomit your entire extra deck onto the board and basically have a game devolve into a point where it's basically break my board or scoop, yeah, it's not fun. And in my opinion, going back to my initial point, making the game more accessible to a lot of players, it's necessary, and this card has to come back at 3 to make the game more fair. Moving forward, Pantheons and Monarchs is the next card that should come down off the list. This card's at 3 in the OCG. Monarchs aren't doing anything. If this card comes down to 3, here in the TCG, Monarchs might get pushed up to tier 2 status, but still, there are consistency issues within the deck because their deck does run a lot of high-level monsters, so you get the idea. It's good and bad, but giving the deck a little extra consistency isn't a bad thing, in my opinion. And having an additional strong tier 2 deck just to combat the meta isn't a bad thing either, because it diversifies the game. And diversity is good. All right, and moving forward, the other card would be Skill Drain. The primary reason why I think Skill Drain should come back down to 3 is basically because there are a lot of players that are just basically sick of seeing Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine stops activated monster effects for the opponent that has more monsters on their side of the field. A lot of times, players would utilize something like Metaverse or Demise of the Lands to basically activate Mystic Mine during their turn and cash them with more monsters, and basically just hurt them because they can just activate monster effects, but also they can't utilize their battle phase at all. Skill Drain, in my opinion, is a bit more fair because it hits both players with monster effect negation, and it still does allow the battle phase to happen. So this is a great alternative to come back. It's at 3 in the OCG. It's not doing anything over there, so it's safe to bring back in this game. And to be very honest, another floodgate would do this game world of good, because the game has gotten way too fast. And we need to start bringing cards down on the list to make it slower. This card is the perfect example, and I think it's a better alternative to Mystic Mine. Alright guys, those are my semi-limits and unlimited picks for the upcoming September ban lists. I mean, I will iterate again that there probably won't be seeing anything banned or limited on September because of the lack of physical events. I know it's a sad thing. To be honest, hopefully we will get the vaccine during the fall and we can actually start getting larger events going again, like regionals, just so Konami can actually have more data. I did hear rumors that TCG Europe might try to get events rolling, but like I said, there still are a lot of restrictions on large groups. So until that vaccine is available, we're not going to be seeing regionals or YCSs for a while, possibly for the rest of the year. So it's best just to sit back and enjoy playing the game online, buying a product as it comes out if you're into that, and just perfecting your decks. Alright guys, that is it for my ban list predictions for the September 2020 ban list. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe. Enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Check out the description box below. Find the links to my affiliates, TCG Player, as well as SideDeckVersus.com. Great resources for any Yu-Gi-Oh player. Follow me on social media, Twitter or Reddit. And if you guys want to help grow my community to greater heights, the invite link to my Discord server is in the description box as well. Join the conversation. We'll love to have you. Guys, as always, until next time, peace.